Doug's MRI was better news. I think he's just essentially got a sprained shoulder. Put it in the simplest medical terms as I can. He's going to be moving slow for a couple days, but I think his prognosis is good. I think it's likely we'll get him back on the practice floor at least for a day before we play Xavier.
I think a lot of people knew that the Big East was going to be a physical league. That was kind of the talk going into it. Was last night Exhibit A for that?
Yeah, I think all three games have been pretty physical. The Marquette game here was certainly a physical game, but you're going to have goofy plays that happen in a game of basketball. Grant's was certainly as odd a play as I've seen. Their feet kind of got hooked and there was a twist at the same time. Doug's a guy that's on the move a lot, and when he's on the move a lot, people are going to chuck him. And he got chucked, and I think he hurt his shoulder at some point during the Seton Hall game, and I think he re-aggravated it on that particular play. But obviously we needed him a second. He came up big, not only with some baskets, but with some nice passes to his teammates as well.
You said best case scenario, you might get him back for one day before Xavier?
Yeah, I think we probably got to shut him down tomorrow, and then it's probably going to be pretty light on Friday. But I think that we can at least get him on the practice floor on Saturday for the game on Sunday. The reality of it is the way the pounding that Doug takes, a couple days off for him probably is not a bad idea anyway.
Do you have to reiterate the importance for all the other guys to kind of step up their game, not knowing the status of those two guys moving forward?
Well, I think we're going to know the status by the end of the day. I think we'll know where Grant's at. I certainly think it's doubtful for anything for this weekend unless there's some miraculous recovery between now and then. But it appears Doug's going to be able to play. And, our bench is going to have to be able to step up. They stepped up in a huge way against DePaul. I was really proud of everybody that came off the bench, but Will and Avery in particular really gave us a great lift at DePaul. And then Devin Brooks at Seton Hall when Austin was in foul trouble. Came in, played 27 minutes, ran the team, and found a way to get that victory.
Whether it's short term or long term, if Grant is out, how do you start to compensate for that?
Well, I don't know that you totally compensate for it because Grant brings a lot to our team. Now, Avery's been in the program a long time. This is his third year. Had Grant not got the 6-year of eligibility, it'd be Avery that would be out there seeing a lot of these minutes. So he's prepared himself for that opportunity. Devin Brooks has played good off the bench. Isaiah Zierd used a little bit more and more with each game. So we've got guys that we can use there if that were to be the case. Obviously, our preference is to have Grant because of what he means to our program on and off the floor.
What's the best case for Grant? Just a sprain?
Yeah, I think that would be the best case, or a partial tear of some sort. Obviously, it was everybody saw the replay. It was he twisted it pretty good. So we'll see what the MRI says this afternoon. It'd be unfair of me to speculate.
You're close with him, obviously. Even more so maybe than just a regular player. How close to your head when you see him go down?
I just assumed it was one of his other body parts that was already hurt. That he injured again, whether it was back or shoulder or one of the knees that was banged up. But when I heard him screaming when I got out there, I knew it was a little bit more severe. So you hate to see him go down. He's meant a great deal to this program, and we certainly wouldn't be where we're at today without him. And I hope we can get him back on the playing floor. If we can't, he's got ways he can impact this team, whether he's on the floor or not. Avery's played good defense all the way through this year. He just hasn't shot the ball. And last night he hit that first shot, and I think it gave him a little extra bounce in his step. Besides hitting a couple threes, his ability to attack the basket and score at the rim with some pretty athletic plays against some athletic guys was really good to see. So if you have to lose a guy like Grant for a short period or long period, there's no better way to go into that than with a guy like Avery coming off his best game of the season, because that's just going to add some fuel to the fire for him in the practice floor as he prepares for what's ahead this week.
What's the difference for Avery? Because he seems like all year he's been a lot more aggressive going to the basket and attacking.
Our message to the guys, because of the rule changes, is if you don't know what to do, put your head down and go, because there's more fouls called that are called blocks now than there are charges. So you want to be in the attacking mode. But Avery's finishes were really good, and as I said, defensively he's been very consistent throughout the whole year.
Hey Greg, you guys have won your first 3 conference games by an average of 17 points. What do you make of that, getting off to that kind of start and winning by the margins that you guys have?
You know, I don't know. It's a win is a win. I'd have taken 3 one-point victories and been just as happy as I am today. You know, we've been pretty good defensively, really, since the San Diego State game. I think people have found out since then how good San Diego State is. But we didn't play very well defensively that game, particularly the second half, with letting them get to the free throw line. But since then, including the George Washington game, in my opinion, we've played well enough in those 9 games defensively to win those games. So I've been pleased with what I've seen with that. This team, I think, will always be an unselfish team that's going to make the extra pass. That was evident last night with our ball movement. So as long as we just continue to play together and buy into what we have to do in the defensive end, and you know, to go on the road, and I think we out-rebounded them by 17 or 18 on the 2-game trip. That's something that's going to remain a huge factor for us as well.
What can you tell us about Xavier?
You know, I haven't watched a ton yet. I watched Xavier Butler last night. Obviously, Samaj Krishna, a very talented guard. Stainbrook inside, the transfer from Western Michigan, who was given him a presence on the block at 6'10" and 2-something. He's a big guy, but he scores over both shoulders, and you know, he is a presence down there. He's a good passer as well. So when you come with help, he's been able to pass it out of there. So you know, they're going to play their 3rd home game, I believe, tomorrow night. I can't remember who they play. And then they got to come to our place on Sunday. So hopefully we have a great crowd in the building, and we can create that same environment we had on New Year's Eve.
Given that Avery came into the program basically known as a shooter, has his recent rough spell of shooting the ball kind of been perplexing?
Yeah, a little bit, because he's you know, he's always been, really since he's been here, he's been a 40% three-point shooter. So he's been pretty consistent, and this is one of the poorer stretches that he's had. But to his credit, he stayed in the gym. He's tried to work through it, and you know, he'll continue to work through it. He'll get in the gym, and you know, I fully expect Avery to take full advantage of whatever opportunity is presented to him as a result of Grant's injury.